So welcome back to the podcast. My name is Joseph Clough and this is episode 569. And in this episode, we're going to learn some tips, some ideas, some strategies of how to build a higher self-esteem. That is what we're here for today. You see, esteem is going to be the thing which will lead you to where you want to be ultimately. Now, what is esteem? Esteem is about our self-belief. It's about knowing we're worthy, deserving, and capable. Knowing that we're strong enough to be able to do what we have to do to get to where we want to get to and to receive the rewards that we truly desire in the world. Now, if you're listening to this on the podcast, this is a live podcast technically, so you can always visit youtube.com/Joseph Clough and you can join us live. You can join us live, and therefore, not only do we get to communicate, I mean, everyone here, I know them, which is really cool. For the last 3 or 4 months, I feel like I really know you. I feel like, hey, I know the people showing up here. So if you want to join us live, it's always a pleasure. And you can do so at youtube.com/Joseph Clough, CLOUGH. And of course, you can always download our free Hypnosis app. And that's a free hypnosis.app. And then you can download it on Android and also on the iPhone to really get lots. Oh, wrong one. Lots. Oh no, my thing's all gone wrong. Pressing buttons is not working. So remember, 11 minutes. We got to edit that. There should be a nice little graphic display of my app. So we're going to just pretend. You can see it right here usually. But yes, you can download the free Hypnosis app at freehypnosis.app, and by doing so you can download all the podcast episodes. You can favor them. If there's one you really enjoy, you just kind of click that heart and it'll be there for you right at the top of the list. On top of that, you've also got hundreds of hypnosis sessions in day and in night form, and also create your own custom hypnosis sessions. As always, if you are enjoying the app, I greatly appreciate any reviews because it just means that we can support and help others who need help the most. My mission is ultimately to help as many. It is why I created the podcast. It wasn't a monetary thing because back then it wasn't about monetary. It was about just podcasting. And I really want to help as many people as possible. But with that, let's get into the content of today's show, and that would be how to build esteem in a 5-step plan. So, the first step for me, as always, is something that I go on all the time, and I could speak about it all the time, and I don't mind speaking about it all the time. I'm very unapologetic in speaking about this all the time. I might even do a seminar one day all on this one subject. A whole weekend, a whole week, a whole month if need be. And that first step to building a first deep self-esteem is to assume responsibility for who you are and where you're heading. Yes, of course, we've gone through many, many things in our life. And sometimes those events cause us to make us feel bad, or we're not enough. Those people, those situations, and yeah, there are horrible people around. There are situations which really, really have a psychological, a physiological, an emotional effect on us. But I do truly believe if we are to change, the first step is to assume responsibility for what we do in this moment. In any given moment, we have the ability to respond. That's what responsibility is, where it's our ability to respond. And the more that we begin to cultivate, and it's very, very hard in the beginning, really, really hard for most people, I'd say. to assume responsibility for who we are, or where we're heading, or what we have to do. It's where we have to dig deep sometimes. It's just one of those things. We need to be able to go, look, I know it's so hard what I'm going through, but if anyone's going to change, it's got to come from me. In other words, I cannot rely on external circumstances or people to change me. I just cannot rely on those people or situations. It's almost like relying on your happiness based if the sun comes out today. We don't want that, because that's disempowerment. You see, when we think about it as a cause and effect, if I'm the effect of my environment, I'm going to just be the product of it. That's all I'm going to be. And we're more than that. I honestly believe we are more than that. You may not believe me. You might not believe that I believe that within you because we've not met, or because of our own limiting beliefs. But I do know in my life and the people that I work with, that assumption of responsibility is so critical, because otherwise we're giving our power away to people, to the past, to those events, and that will trip us up all the time. So we don't want to be just the effect of life. We don't want to be a product of what life has done to us. We want to allow life to be a product of what we choose to create, and choice comes from responsibility, right? We assume responsibility for who we are and where we're heading. It doesn't let people off the hook. In fact, it actually does not the opposite, but it's like, no, I'm going to take responsibility. I'm going to do what has to be done to even prove what can be done. So sometimes assuming responsibility is the greatest level of power to those who have done you wrong, because you refuse to buy into what they did, or what they said, or what the economy did, what society did, whatever it is. When we assume responsibility, we are regaining our power. Otherwise, we have reasons for why we are like we are, and those reasons become validations. And if we feel validated by the reasons, then we're almost making it okay to be that way. And that is a really tricky subject as well, because there are going to be legitimate reasons as to how we got here. What I'm saying is, forgetting about the how, I want us to get into, well, how can I assume responsibility in this moment to change my circumstance? How can I refuse to allow what other people did, or society, or events, and all those things? How can we stop that? And I believe the first step to building your self-esteem is to assuming responsibility for it. For when you do, you gain more control, and it can be tricky. But over time, I've learned that it becomes easier. You start to filter through what is right and what is wrong, or what is true from what is illusionary. You begin to notice that actually, I don't have to buy into that circumstance. I don't have to buy into the person, what they said I should be. Instead, I can choose to create what I want. And it is very much a creation. You see, when I used to experience the worry, the fear, the dread, the self-consciousness, the blushing, all of those things, it was really tricky in the beginning. It wasn't like a click of your fingers and you let it go. I had to create this. I had to assume responsibility for my own happiness, my own personal freedom, and I want that for you. I genuinely do. I want you to know that if you are to change, we must assume responsibility for who we are and where we're heading. That to me is pivotal. And if you want a greater sense of learning, there's no greater book than that in Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl, which was about his experience in the Nazi concentration camps. And it is a horrific yet enlightening book, very hard. And I've been to Israel, I've been to the Holocaust Museum when I was trained to teach out there, or when I was paid to go out there and teach therapists. And it was like, the book was crazy and how hard it is, but being in the museum and seeing the cycle, and one of my friends at the time was the head guide of the museum, and like, he was just open, obvious about all of that. And yeah, it was really tricky. But Viktor Frankl said, when you're no longer able to change your situation, you're challenged to change yourself. Now, if someone can go through all that and come to that conclusion, that to me is absolute responsibility. So number one, we got to assume responsibility. Now, I'm going to close the cycle or the loop of all of these 5 steps very soon as to why it's important to do so. But that is the first step. And the second step is, you've got to build your qualities. We are never as kind to ourselves like we are others. We've got to treat ourselves more kindly. And that is by recognizing our qualities. We always, not always, that's a limiting generalization, but more often than not, we can disregard the qualities about ourselves. If someone pays us a compliment, we may go, no, and just delete it. But I think if we are to build our self-esteem, we've got to look deep within us and go, look, okay, what are my qualities? Now, you might be racking your brain to find out your qualities. And a simple trick to me is, if I were to look through the eyes of someone who loves me, or a friend of mine who probably still loves me, what would they think of me? I want to feel and know what qualities I have about myself. There's always going to be one. There's going to be a handful of qualities. Maybe you're a good listener. Maybe you're a good friend. Maybe you can make people laugh. Maybe you're very creative. Maybe you have certain talents. Maybe you have the ability to do something. And I think it's important to reflect on those qualities. And if I were to go all out, if I were you, I would have something on my wall, or at least like a piece of paper to write on, and list out my qualities. Call it like a quality wall, or my qualities wall. And that is where every day you might want to write a new quality about who you are as a person. Many people think that's egotistical, but if you're going to improve your esteem, you must realize the qualities you have. Because usually those with a low self-esteem are coming from a place of scarcity. They're coming from a place that they don't know their qualities. So we've got to get to the point of going, look, these are my qualities. They might not be amazing just yet, but these are still my qualities. And once you start to build it up, it gets a little bit stronger. And every day you begin to look at those qualities as you go from your bed to the bathroom or to the fridge, wherever you put it, you're going to start to glance upon them. And what that does, it builds reinforcement. It reinforces that quality. If you really struggle with this, consider the qualities, what other people will see within you. And I don't mind if it's even your pet. Like if I were to look through the eyes of my dog, Lil Sebastian, or my cat called Mr. Cuddles, I could probably imagine what they might say, right? It sounds weird, but I look after them. We go on long walks, I give them shelter, we play. Like there's going to be, like sometimes you catch your dog or your animal just looking at you, staring at you, and you know they're thinking something. Sometimes we've got to just tap into that sometimes. If that's the only thing we have, let's utilize it. So you need to build up your qualities. And what that starts to do is it starts to level us up a little bit, because we're assuming responsibility, we're building up our quality wall of our qualities, and that leads us into the third step, which I would say is a level of gratitude, because with those qualities, you're starting to be more grateful for who you are, and that's important. So number 3, we can say, okay, let's tap into that attitude of gratitude. So the gratitude for who I am, the gratitude, which would be the qualities, right? The gratitude for the things that I have. Do I have the ability to learn? Do I have the access to maybe a self-development video or audio? Do I have shelter? Do I have clothes? Do I have food? There are many people in the world which do not have what you have. So we've got to get into that place of our qualities, but also our gratitude. Because most of the time, once again, when we have a low self-esteem, we're in the place of lack. We have a lack of esteem. So we must acquire something to build our esteem, and that would be assuming responsibility for the things that we have, the gratitude that we have. And if you want to go to a deeper level, it would to be being grateful for not what just who you are and what you have, but also the gratitude for the things that are coming your way. And that's a trickier one. It really, really is. Because on the one level, we don't have what we want, right? So therefore, we're living in that scarcity world. But if you start to get to that place where you go, look, I'm grateful for the good and great things coming my way. I don't know what they are, but I'm grateful for it. I'm going to learn from this. I'm going to grow from this. I'm going to start to look for that. And I do that with myself, my business. I'm grateful for the business that I'm going to receive this week. I'm grateful for the people who are going to enter my world. Now, what that does, it tricks your mind, your biological mind, your unconscious mind, to look for those opportunities. Once again, low self-esteem comes from a place of lack, a lack of esteem. So if we start to look for or trick our mind biologically, and I say biologically because our brain looks out for these things. If we look for all the wrong in the world, we'll find more wrong. If we look for what is good in the world, we'll start to look for more examples of what is good in the world. So if we're starting to be grateful for the good things which are coming our way, you're tricking your mind, your unconscious mind, your biological mind, the part which they call the reticular activating system, to look for more of the same. You're expecting, in other words. And also on top of that, you're getting to a level of reception. You're receiving, you're looking forward to it. And therefore, you're changing that negative state into in a state of curiosity, a state of, I wonder what's going to happen. I wonder what good things are coming my way. You're opening yourself rather being in a closed mindset of, oh my goodness, I hope this doesn't happen. All of those things. So that'll be the third level of being grateful for who and what you have, and also what is coming your way. Now, the next step, or the fourth one, where I would say, look, we've got to build a vision. What's our mission? What's our ambition? We've got to go for something. We've got to have a dream. We've got to have a goal, because it gives us something to go for. It gives us a value. It gives us a drive. It gives us a motivation. It gives you a bit of your why, like why it's important to do something. I know that's said a lot, like what is your why? But ultimately, a goal or a dream gives you a direction. Like there's an end point. There's a not just where I am, but where I want to be. So when we get to that place, we want to make sure that we know what we're going for. What is our vision? Where do we want to be? And you see, when you create a vision, you're focusing not what you don't want, you're focusing on what you do want. So when we get into a deeper vision, and we talked about this a while ago, like, what is the purpose of an acorn? Well, it's to feed the environment. No, but what else is the purpose for the acorn? Okay, maybe it's to grow an oak tree. Okay, but what else is the purpose of that acorn? Well, maybe it's to grow a field or a forest of oak trees. But what else is the purpose? Well, maybe it's to build things from that wood. Structure, home, books. All of those things. Now, what's greater than that potentially? Well, what are the words within that book? Maybe that book transforms a life. Maybe that home gives a level of security. Maybe that home has many memories or many families. So that one acorn tree or acorn has so many different potentialities. And sometimes we just think, well, it's just there to feed the environment or to grow another oak tree. But that level and that depth of vision can be so much more. So we want to get to that place of, okay, what is a vision for me? Where do I want to be in the positive? What do I want? How do I want it? When do I want it? Because it gives us a level of drive. It gives a goal, an outcome. And I like to think the conscious mind is a goal setter, but the unconscious mind is the goal getter. So if we're going to get going, we need to be setting our unconscious mind to the goals that we want. Okay, so we really want to get to that place of kind of planting the seeds to the unconscious mind as to where we want to be heading in the most positive, most profound and great way. Now, the fifth step, and I said there was 5 steps to this, and I'm sure there are many more in between, but I really think it's about creating your day. If you're not spending 10, 15 minutes of deciding what you want from your day, being present before you enter this crazy world of stuff and things and time and obligations, you got to put yourself first. So you begin to create your day. Like, for example, in my 8-week program, it comes in 2 levels. Like there are preloaded tracks to create your day. And they come in different versions, and it's about really spending 10, 15 minutes in designing your day, and hypnotically as well. Getting your unconscious mind to start to do that. Because once it does that, once you have that cooperation with your conscious and unconscious mind, you're pre-teaching it how you want to be in the world. You're pre-teaching your unconscious mind that, look, there's who I want to be, there's where I want to be heading, there's what I want to achieve today. And ultimately, it's like the reverse anxiety process. Like, the thing with anxiety is focusing on everything you don't want to happen. Why not spend some time focusing on what you do want to happen? And therefore, with the anxiety, when you focus on all the things you don't want, it builds anxiety into you. But if you do the reverse of it, of creating your day, you're going to start to build in a drive, a feeling, a desire of, look, this is how I'm going to be. And that's the getting the unconscious mind to know what you're doing. And like also within my program, I personally create people the track, so it has their name in it and everything. But if I were you, I would definitely be wanting to create my day before I start my day. I don't want to enter this world going 100 miles an hour before I've actually settled into who I am, what I want to be achieving. Now, if we think about this, if we break it down, we've got assume responsibility, building your qualities. We've got the gratitude for now and what is coming your way. We've got the having a vision, a goal, an outcome. And also we have the level of creating your day. Now let's break those down. What are they? Well, assuming responsibility is the now, okay? That's the present moment. Let's say that's the now. The building the qualities is you. So it's the who, like, who am I? These are my qualities. So now we have the now and we have the qualities, okay, of who we are. We have the now and who we are. Then we have the gratitude, which is the what. There's what I have in my life. So now we have the now, we also have the who, now we have the what. And then we've also got the vision, which is the why. That is the value. That is the motivation. Right? So now we have the now, the who, and the what, and the why. And then finally, we've got the creating your day aspects, which is the how to do it. They're the steps. This is how I want to to make it happen. So now we have the now, the who, the what, the why, and also the how. And personality wise, we're going to be operating from that level. The what, the why, the how, and the what if as well, which would be a bit of the how in this case. It's just personality traits. So if you cover all of those bases, however you say the plural basis, whatever one it is, you're going to be able to get it. Now, there is a secret sixth one, and there's more of like an advanced level, or someone who's maybe more invested or willing or able or capable to do so. And that is listening to the hypnosis tracks. Get it on the app. My stuff, other people's stuff, get into a program. Get into my program if you feel like you could apply for it. Get into someone else's program. Get some one-to-one help locally. You've got to, if you want to be able to level it up, you want to learn from an expert. Now, not everyone can do that, which is understandable, but at the very least, do those 5 steps. But if you can, it's always good to learn from an expert in any endeavor. If you want to learn how to lose weight, you want to learn from someone who's able to teach you that or has done that. If you want to learn about money, you probably want to learn about that. Or if you want to learn about design, you learn from someone great at design. It's the quickest, fastest way of getting there if you are able to invest within yourself. So that is like the 6th one. But at the very least, listen to the hypnosis tracks. There are tons available on the free hypnosis app, freehypnosis.app. And also there's those in-app purchases, or just unlock the whole app. That's probably the best way of doing it as well. But those are my 5 steps. So let's do a little process. Let's go ahead and do a little process. Now, if you're listening to this, let's make sure you're not listening to so you're not doing any mechanical machinery things whatsoever, okay? So, 1, do not be doing anything. If you're driving, just press stop and then listen to this later on. Or, if you're not doing anything, get yourself in a comfortable position and wear some earphones if you can as well, okay? Because this will hopefully be a more of a binaural, whatever you call that word, a 3D, 4D experience, ideally. So that is what we're going to be doing. So when you're ready, get yourself in a nice, comfortable position. Close your eyes and be here now. Relax. Give yourself this opportunity of building your esteem. Breathe in through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Breathe in through the nose and exhale through the mouth. You see, being here now, you can utilize this time with your unconscious to allow it to grow, to transform, to go deeper into the connection of who you are. That's it. Now is your time. Make a decision, for you're ready to build up your esteem. You're ready to learn. You're ready to grow. You're ready to experience a deeper connection. You're ready to feel better than before, but not as much as in a moment. You see, your unconscious mind can continue to learn, listen, to grow, to evolve. It can listen to the words that I say, but it can listen to your desire. It can feel it. So decide and declare, I'm ready to learn. I'm ready to grow. I'm ready to build my esteem. Now, of course, that comes from assuming responsibility. So assume it. Decide and declare I'm ready to change. Rather being a product of my environment, rather being a product of life, you allow life to be a product of what you choose to create. That you bring back the choice. When people said no, you say yes. When people said you couldn't do something, you couldn't achieve your goals and dreams, you go, yes, I can. For I assume responsibility for who I am, where I am, and where I'm heading in the most powerful way. That's it. Relax and assume responsibility. Now, if you could imagine the qualities of you, the things you do well, the things that you're good at, what people would say to you who love you, what would they see in you? What would they say to you? What qualities would they speak to you? It could be from friends, family members, even our pets. What would they say? What loving thoughts would they have for you? You may not believe in them yet, but if they say it, it's true to them. Consider those qualities, for those qualities are attributes of who you are. Then go ahead and really think about what you want. That's it. Who do you want to be? How can we have the gratitude for who we are, for what we have, and for what is coming our way? That's it. What would it be like to just be grateful for the good and great things coming our way? Maybe you can feel some of that energy building up. Maybe you can feel the emotion of gratitude resonating throughout your neurology, radiating within you and beyond you. Consider why you want what you want. Think of your mission, your ambition, the vision of who you are. Build in that why. Really think about that. What is it that I want? What would I like to receive? Remember, every small step, every small step builds momentum. It builds up. anything you do here and now and the future will build more momentum up. That's it. Relax as you learn, and learn as you relax. Just consider your mission, your ambition, your vision for who you are and where you're heading. And build it, brighten it, wrap it around you, expand it, make it profoundly strong. Allow it to become who you are. That's it. And then you can begin to create yourself every morning, to create your day. Every morning to create your day. Remember, when you go there in the mind, you go there in the body. When you go there in the mind, you're pre-teaching your unconscious mind. You are the goal setter, and your unconscious, the goal getter. So treat your unconscious mind with great esteem. Give it the opportunity to grow. Give it the direction. Lead it to where it needs to be. That's it. And then when you are ready to feel better than before, breathe in through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Breathe in through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Thank your unconscious mind. Thank yourself. Build in the creation of you, leveling up, investing in time to cultivate your thoughts, your feelings, your behaviors, in who you are and where you're heading. And then when you are ready to dive deeper into your esteem, you can begin to come back to now, feeling more alert, more alive, ready to thrive. And then when you are ready, you can open your eyes, come all the way back to now, and to feel good in any way you desire. That's it. And welcome back. There we go. And welcome back. And I hope you enjoyed this podcast episode, which was recorded live on YouTube. youtube.com/Joseph Clough, Clough. And I hope you enjoyed it, got value from it. And once again, download the free Hypnosis app at freehypnosis.app. Or if you're interested in applying for my 8-week program, fully customized, you can go to josephclough.info/power to watch our little masterclass and see if that will resonate with you. And I look forward to speaking to you on and by the way, if you're interested to do what I do, go to nlphypnosistrainings.com, because we're running a virtual event training you to become a practitioner in hypnosis. So that's nlphypnosistrainings.com, and that is happening in August. So you get to learn from me, you get certified, and you can start helping people. Or if you just want to level up your life in many different ways, in business and being, if you have children or whatever it is, becoming certified in NLP and hypnosis was the greatest thing I ever did. So nlphypnosistrainings.com is the only one we're doing this year. And Yes, I look forward to speaking to you in a future episode. Many thanks and goodbye.